There's a simple and proven model or a framework that can help you find clarity and transform your health if you're dealing with a chronic illness, like it did for my client. My name is Anindita, and I am a functional medicine certified health coach and a functional medicine practitioner, and I help women with autoimmune conditions discover their own power to heal with their bodies as their guides. And today I am talking about this simple module, SIMPLE, that can help you to reclaim your power by once again learning to trust your body, to believe in your body's innate healing capabilities, so that you can start feeling healthy and at peace in your body once again. But what I find is that most people believe that they don't have much power when it comes to healing, when it comes to their own health, and when it comes to the challenges that they face, especially when they're dealing with any kind of chronic health issues. They believe that only doctors have all the answers and doctors have all the power. Right? They believe that it's too complex for them to understand their own body and what they need, and that they will never be able to figure it out. So they don't take action and they don't make the necessary changes, whether it's their diet, whether it's their lifestyle, whether it's their thinking, mindset, right? That they could support their healing and say, so they allow their illness to define their life and to define their abilities, right? And to limit them in that sense. And they continue to be in a fight with their own bodies, and because they believe is the only way that they can get better, and because they are being led to believe in a way that their bodies are broken or are too dumb and cannot be healed, right? Without the help of medications, without the help of external inputs, right? And because of this, you remain stuck in what I call a disease merry-go-round. So you're still searching for answers as to why you have these diagnoses, and if it's the case of complex chronic illnesses like autoimmune conditions, it's often multiple autoimmune diagnoses, and so you keep on trying to find answers, you keep on trying to figure out why you have so many diagnoses and so many unexplained symptoms, right? And I'm going to talk about a client who had 250 plus symptoms, multiple diagnoses, and she couldn't figure out where to start and what to do. So there are several ways that you can deal with it, of course, and some of that you would already be trying and maybe without much success. But you can figure out what you need to focus on and give your body exactly what your body needs in order to heal and get better. And I'm sharing one of those models today. It's one of my model. It's called SIMPLE, or simple model, and it's a part of my second pillar of my 3-pillar coaching framework. The 3 pillars are reconnect, simplify, and sustain, and the second pillar is simplify, and this is the model that comes under it. So S stands for strengthen energy production, I stands for increase body awareness, M stands for maximize nutrient intake and absorption, P stands for prioritize what nourishes you, L stands for lighten your toxic load, and E stands for enrich your life with love and compassion. So in fact, when my client started working with me, she was dealing with more than 250 symptoms, right? Most of them were actually unexplained, because the doctors could not really explain what was going on. They couldn't put a name to it. She had multiple diagnoses. So she had diagnosis of autoimmune thyroid condition. She had likely fibromyalgia. It's quite hard to diagnose some of these autoimmune conditions. She had a whole host of other issues, whether it was, of course, thyroid, migraines, digestion, constipation, vomiting, so and this was a daily thing for her. So she had hepatitis, eczema, so a lot of things going on. And if you can imagine, if it's 250 plus symptoms, so she was overwhelmed and exhausted by putting out fires every single day of her life, and she'd been doing it for a really, really long time. When I asked her when was the time that you really felt vibrant and well, she told me that it was when she was in school. So you can imagine that for the last 25 odd years she had been putting out fires. She has been in pain and suffering, and things had only gone downhill for her, right? She had gone on to develop more symptoms. She had tried different modalities, But the thing is, because she was simply fed up with focusing on a particular organ or tissue that had been damaged and trying to manage it in isolation when she came to me. But she didn't know a better way. The thing is, nobody was seeing the bigger picture, right? Like really who this person was and what was really going on in her life, right? And how could she lay a strong foundation so that she can support her body's healing process. Like that's not something that anybody had ever sat down with her and explained to her and helped her to start trusting and connecting with her body once again. So it was only when we started working together and we implemented the simple or the SIMPLE model that I just told you about, or I'm about to share with you, that she finally understood what she needed to do in order to support herself and her body's healing process. Like she finally understood exactly what she needed to prioritize, because there might be a list of 20 things to do, but you can't possibly be doing them all at once. It's not possible for you practically, and it's not really constructive actually, at the end of the day. There is a order to these things, so there is usually a step-by-step process that we follow. That depends on the client or the individual that I'm working with. So it will depend on your body's own unique requirements and what your body needs right now the most. So I'm going to share with you this simple model, and this is what she implemented, and that is when she started seeing the results, because she was finally supporting her body's healing process. And the beauty of focusing or implementing one of the models that that I have in my program is that you actually are being guided by your own body, so you will know whether you are on the right track or not, right? It's not that you will be led astray simply because this is the home that you have, right? So once you are sort of connect with that, once you're able to tune into what your body is actually trying to tell you in terms of your symptoms, that's when the magic happens. That's when the transformation actually starts to take place, because now you're actually doing what your body really needs, and you will see the difference. And of course, sometimes we need medications and treatments, but these all can go hand in hand. So I'm about to share with you this powerful model called Simple, or SIMPLE, that is a part of the 3-pillar framework that I use inside my own coaching program, Healing from Within. And as I mentioned, the 3 pillars are reconnect, simplify, and sustain. And the simple module comes under the 2nd pillar, which is the simplify. Because here in this particular pillar inside my coaching program, which is called Healing from Within, I basically just help you to understand what you need to focus on, what you need to prioritize, increase awareness about your own body, and start laying the foundations for healing, right? So that's when things start to shift. So when my clients follow this model, when this client followed this model, she gained clarity on what she needed to prioritize. And in her case, she needed to prioritize managing her extremely stressed state of mind, especially when it came to her digestion, her food. She was so scared of trying different foods or adding, because she had taken out many foods, because a lot of foods were causing her to actually throw it out, and she had pains and she had constipation. Her gut was all over in a very poor shape. So she was quite confused and quite overwhelmed and in pain when she was working. So but however, by following this SIMPLE model, she finally gained clarity on what to prioritize so that she could sort of see improvement. So the S stands for strengthening energy production, I stands for increased body awareness, M stands for maximize nutrient intake and absorption, P stands for prioritize what nourishes you, L stands for lighten your toxic load, and E stands for enrich your life with love and compassion. So this is the way that this client finally started getting some answers as to what was really going on. She started to see things more clearly and understood finally for the first time probably what she needed to prioritize and what her body needed from her, right? What were the things that she needed to do? And it's not just your diet. You need to know whether it needs more rest, it needs more movement, it needs more relaxation, and usually it's all of these. And she understood that, and she felt empowered, right, not overwhelmed by what she needed to do. And she started to finally do the things that she'd been planning to, but she was too weak and tired to do anything about it, right? So this framework guided her, and I'm going to share a few of the important points here with you. And it guided her, and it can guide you about exactly what you need to heal. So I'm going to share with you a few examples, just to give you an idea as to how this model works. But I'm going to share with you a few of the key points here today, because it's quite vast in a way. So just to give you a sense of how this model can really works and helps my clients, and can help you in one way or the other. And I'm going to focus on a few areas that I feel are most overlooked when it comes to healing from a chronic condition. These are the 3 areas that are most overlooked. So I'm going to talk about that today, right? So I is increase in body awareness. I find that this is one of the most overlooked areas in most of the programs that focus on a holistic healing approach, because without this increasing your awareness to your own body, how can you tune in, how can you be guided by it, how could you know that you're on the right track, and how do you know that you need to make certain changes so that you remain on track, right? So you can do this in many different ways. And I teach my clients journaling, I teach my clients self-reflection, prompts, guided visualization, keeping a track of the symptoms, right? That can be one way of doing that. So just then knowing that maybe around this time or of the month or the cycle, then you have these headaches coming on, but it can be many other things as well, right? Maybe some other exposure that's happening. So there are many different ways that you can increase your body awareness, or awareness to your body, but it's not going to happen overnight. But it is one of the most overlooked aspects of the whole healing process. P stands for prioritize what nourishes you. This is going to be different for each person. So you're going to figure out, and I work with my clients to figure out what is it for them that sort of nourishes them, whether it's dance, whether it's a particular hobby, and how do you create boundaries? It's not just about hobbies. It's also about establishing healthy boundaries with your family, with your friends, with in your personal life, professional life, so that you can prioritize self-care. You can make your self-care and your health a priority, right? How do you otherwise actually put in the time and the energy that is required to make changes to reach your health and wellness goals? So creating rituals, creating routines, morning routine, evening routine, bedtime routine, or nighttime routine, these are some of the ways that I work with my clients, and we figure out ways, we brainstorm ways together. Coaching is always a partnership. That's the beauty of working with a health coach, and a functional medicine health coach also helps to understand the functional medicine aspects of it, as to what is really going on, what are the root causes. But at the same time, what is often overlooked is what I'm talking about, which is increasing your body awareness, which is figuring out what to prioritize, right? What is it, and brainstorm certain aspects of your health and self-care. And that's how you work with a coach as a partner. So the beauty of the work that I do is I partner with my clients, and together we come up with solutions, and I help and empower them to discover their own power to change, right? So that's how it works, and that's how they can see sustainable improvement. So I was just mentioning I for body awareness, P stands for prioritize what nourishes you, and E stands for enrich your life with love and compassion. This is something that is also really missing, I think, in many people's lives, and it forms a cornerstone. One of the theme of my own coaching program is compassion, especially self-compassion. It's a key ingredient that is usually missing, because compassion for your body and for yourself is really important if you want to stay motivated, if you want to stay on track throughout the healing journey. Because as you would have realized, if you're dealing with any kind of chronic health issues, it's the long-term gain, right? It's not about what you do in the next 6 to 12 weeks. It's pretty much for the rest of your life. So if you're not motivated enough, if you're not inspired, to be, to stay on track, it's really hard. It's very easy to give up, in other words. So compassion for your body and for yourselves helps you to build resiliency and overcome challenges that come on your way. So basically, you find a way to treat yourself with the same kindness as you would somebody else who is in a similar situation and suffering, right? So that's what compassion is, and it's self-compassion. And you can do it in many different ways. You can use mindfulness. You can find a support group that uplifts you, so that you connect with others online. You can celebrate small wins in your own way. This is again something that is not really done by most people, and you can give yourself grace when you falter, when you make mistakes. This is something that I tell my clients, that maybe you had that one bite of gluten or dairy, or had something that by mistake, right? That that you're not supposed to be having right now. It's not going to help you, but you need to forgive yourself. You need to be kind to yourself, and you need to move on and get back on track. That's how compassion works, and that's how you can stay on track. So this is how the SIMPLE model works. As I said, S stands for strengthen energy production, I stands for increase body awareness, M stands for maximize nutrient intake and absorption, P stands for prioritize what nourishes you, L stands for lighten your toxic load, and E stands for enrich your life with love and compassion, right? I just shared with you very, very, details, some details as to some of the most overlooked aspects of any kind of healing, program or a process that has to be, implemented in order to see the results. Because when you follow this model, you're able to see things more clearly. You're finally able to get the answers that you are looking for, because now you know what needs to be prioritized in order to get better. More importantly, you now believe that you can get better because you understand what your body needs in order to heal, right? So if, in this session, I've shared with you the simple model. And as I said, it's part of the 3-pillar framework. It forms which is what my program, coaching program, Healing from Within, is based upon. This model is part of the pillar Simplify, where I sort of just help my clients to understand what's important and what they need to focus on. And if you want to learn more about this model and the framework that can help you do this, you can click on the link in bio to schedule a free 45 minutes discovery call, or you can head to aninditaroonta.com/call, aninditaroonta.com/call, and schedule your free call today.